Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashatari Satarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Hare. So today is the 2nd of May. We're into the 5th month and this is Friday. Bhagavad Gita. This is our preparatory compressed program, preparatory program for devotees who hope to start the VIG in July. So normally we stretch the Bhagavad Gita over the whole year, but this year we're compressing it to 6 months. And then we'll decide what we'll do for the last 6 months, if we'll go back or take on another book. I don't know, we'll see. But so we're moving a little fast. We're moving a little fast. Okay, so today begins the block of chapters in the Gyan section of the Gita, 13 through 18. And this is a 2-month block. And in this block we will also, on the other day we meet Mondays, we will be doing the 5th canto of the Bhagavatam in May, 6th canto in June. And paralleling that will be the Nectar of Devotion. And we have a dozen hard copies that are classroom copies now by Neela's Mercy. So we have a lot of books. And Nectar of Devotion is very elevated, but essential. They're all essential, very elevated. All right. So again, we thank you for coming. And the one thing that we stress increasingly as we study is that all of our endeavors should be directed solely for the pleasure of Krishna. It's such an important attitude that anything less than that will keep us in bondage. I mean, it's not just sentimental. I mean, obviously the emotion has to be there, right? The sentiment. But as we study the Nectar of Devotion, we will find that only uninterrupted, and this is in the Gita also, uninterrupted and unalloyed devotion will attract the Lord and will give us His eternal service. Anything else less than that, or mixed, or whatever you call it, keeps the living entity in bondage. We're all in bondage. And that's not a very nice predicament, really. Not at all. So today and every day we meet, each and every one of us should pray that my presentation, your reception, your study, and your objective should be, Krishna, may please be pleased with us. That's devotional service. Okay? All right. So now we will go through the Gita Mahatmya again. Such a nice way to appreciate the value of the study of the Bhagavad Gita. Directly spoken by Krishna. The preliminary study of spiritual life, yet now even in India many people are not able to understand the Gita, even if they read it. So it's important for us as devotees not to make that mistake also. We're favorable, we may have the Gita, but maybe we're unapprised of the Gita's contents. And I think when we read it carefully, we'll see that even in the Gita, the position is high for attainment of devotional service. Okay, so we will go over, as we do in all of our study, we take nutshell, compressed words, so we always orient ourselves to essence before we read just systematically. So the first 6 texts, and then the final one is the responsibility of the devotee. The first 6 are the blessings and benedictions awarded to the living entity who undertakes study of the Gita. So the first text, the key word is go, And our second text, the key word is stop. And in the third, it is wash. And in the fourth, it is read. And in the fifth, it is never. And in the sixth, it is drink. And then the last one, which is the serve, which is the duty of one who is receiving blessings. You see, the material world is a place where it's been explained by Prabhupada, people are ungrateful. God is giving them everything, and what they say is he's dead. Or we don't need to worship him, or we can live without him. So gratitude, Prabhupada said, is 50% of spiritual life, at least. If you're not grateful, you're not going to get very far. Okay, so I guess we're ready now to recite after we hear. Okay, one who recites this holy scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, achieves the abode of Vishnu, which is always free from the mundane qualities based on fear and lamentation. Okay, so text 2, the benediction is something is stopped, so we'll see what is stopped. One who is regularly engaged in the study of the Bhagavad Gita and the practice of pranayam is never affected by the reactions of his past misdeeds. And the blessing in the third one. By daily taking a bath in water, one may cleanse himself from impurities. But if one takes a bath even once, in the sacred water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. So one's cleansed from, because actually, if we are under the modes to any degree, it's understood we're in a diseased state. We are in a diseased state. Text 4. The Bhagavad Gita is meant for careful recitation. And then there is no need for any other scripture. Because it has directly emanated from the lotus mouth of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so this instructs us as to how we should read the Gita again. It's really being stressed too. Certain speakers who give class at night, like last night, K.C. Domina was saying, mechanical devotional service. He said, you can go that for lifetimes, and you won't attract Krishna. So whatever we do should be done with the utmost care and affection in a loving mood. Otherwise it becomes mechanical and then people give it up. Oh, I've heard that story before. Oh, I know Bhagavad Gita. And that very superficial, mechanical approach certainly will not attract the Lord. Okay. Text 5. By drinking the Ganges water of the Gita, the divine quintessence of the Mahabharata, emanating from Lord Vishnu's lotus mouth, one will never again take birth in the material world. Okay, text 6. All the Upanishads are compared to a cow. And the milkman is Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda. Arjuna is the calf. The great nectar of the Bhagavad Gita is the milk. And the fortunate devotees of fine theistic intellect are the enjoyers of that milk. Now, some people are visiting for the first time, and some maybe have not heard us go over the system for improving your concentration. So it's a simple thing to do, but because it takes a habit, we tend to not do it. If you notice a few people in the class, these two, and Manaji and Samohini I'm watching, and I guess you're doing it too, are actually benefiting themselves by this simple thing. If you please take your little finger on your right hand. Can you do that? Yeah. Take your little finger on your right hand. Now this may seem like a bit of a new habit, but it benefits you. We're here to give you skills. If you, as you're reading, you slide this along your text, as you see these two doing, I think Neela does it, she does it, and she's doing it, your concentration goes up. Because the problem is the eye is sort of following, but the eye also, unknown to us, flickers, just as the mind does. So it has been proven by experts that this simple little habit keeps the mind from jumping, the eye from jumping, and keeps the mind from flickering. Both are disadvantageous. And according to books you have the books, rate can go up 30%. You will even read more quickly with better retention. So if you look around, see the others doing it, don't be ashamed. Because some people think, oh, I don't want to be caught doing that. I will look like a 5-year-old. No, actually, people who spend thousands of dollars for courses in reading skills are taught to do this. So please take a little trouble to build a new habit. You'll improve your concentration, your pace. You'll get more out of your reading. Okay? So from now on, make sure as we go through any text and look around, you'll see the others are doing it. I think most people who do it agree. Is it working? Yeah. It's a simple skill, and it's been validated, verified. Nothing that we're concocting. Everything we do here is meant to assist you in your spiritual life. Okay? So now our last text is our reciprocation to Krishna. There need be only one scripture. Sri Krishna's divine Gita. Only one Lord. That same Krishna, the son of Devaki. Only one mantra, the chanting of his holy names. And only one duty, devotional service unto that Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so now we have appreciated the value of the study of the Gita. We have to be reminded of that, because the material energy works in such a way that it is designed to keep you from thinking of Krishna. We're in a tough position, it's designed to make you forget him. The whole material energy is a big prison house meant to keep everybody locked up. So we have to remind ourselves of what is it that will release us from this bondage. Okay? Otherwise we might lose the impetus for it. Okay? So you can pass these around, or Samahini maybe can collect this from everyone. Thank you. She's our very qualified flight attendant here. Okay. So now if you will take out your little 1881 and your magic slates, your retention boards. All right, again, we always have to be reminded. If we wish our studies to be successful, we have to know how professionals do it. Just as if you wish to become an Olympic swimmer or some kind of a professional musician, any profession, you're in dentistry, you had to go to school and you had to learn the skills. You just couldn't make it up. Okay. Get everybody a book. Okay. So there are three. Everybody got the book now? Okay, we'll wait till everybody's situated. You have your little 1881, okay? Now, what we do is I say, and I turn it into a question, and you repeat. In that way, it's constant active participation, which is proven to be essential in effective teaching. If there's not active participation, effectiveness goes down. This is proven. So when I make a point, I turn it into a question. What do? Turn it into a question, and then you give the answer. That way you've heard it how many times? 3 times. That way it goes in. All right. There are 3 perspectives to study. How many? 3. Yeah, all right. So when you're studying, the first perspective is from the air. Overview. What's it called? Overview. You have to see the big picture. That's the first perspective, from the air. The second perspective is called the topic breakdown. What's it called? Yes, that's on the ground. You know the word topography. Topography means the surface of the land. Topic breakdown. So you have to do that. That's another perspective. The final perspective is called the underview. What's it called? Underview. This one is you go deeply into the subject, into the purports, into the commentaries. All 3 must be there. The tendency is to pretty much do this one. The topic, not even that sometimes. Sometimes just verse by verse. Very nice. Very nice, Neela. Thank you. Normally, when that happens, one does not have the orientation for the information. He doesn't know where he is. Now, all of you had to come to this room today, and you knew you had to go to a particular building on a particular floor into a particular room. Otherwise, you will not find it. So our purpose is giving you the skills and the awareness that if you know the overview, the topic breakdowns, and the underview, you will understand the material more effectively. Do you agree? Yeah. Yes, it's very true. Okay? So 3 perspectives. Overview, topic breakdown, and underview. Okay. So now we establish what we want to do today. These are our objectives. And at the end, the outcomes should be there. When the time is up, whatever we said we should accomplish, by the end, we should do that. You're a teacher, right? If you give a class, if you don't have an outcome, what's the point of an objective? Or if there's no objective, there's no outcome. So O equals O. Objectives should equal outcomes. All right. You should all be aware of that, because what we do here is make the students aware of skills so that they also should turn around and employ those if they are transmitting knowledge to someone. Our process is the disciplic succession. We should be passing information on to others. This is a missionary movement. Okay. So today we are starting the final section in the Bhagavad Gita. Where are we? In what book? We're in the Bhagavad Gita. Right. We open that up on our computer. We're in the Bhagavad Gita. And now what we want to do, our objective today, is to get a picture of the section called Gyan. What is this section called? Gyan Yoga. And the chapters involved are what? 13 through 18. Now this is preliminary for some of you, but you will be surprised. In India, many people don't know this. Is it true? They don't know it. And this is the book spoken here in Kurukshetra. So 13 through 18 comprise the section on Gyan. We have just completed the Bhakti overview. Okay? So in our little 1881, we turn to the section that's color-coded blue. So turn to that now. And the first page that's blue is the overview of those 6 chapters. What is it? It's the overview, right. So you see, anybody, if you just repeat, you can understand this even, right? You just have to explain it a little bit to people. It's not a mystery. It's just often it's not understood. That's all. And it makes it easy for any age group. You see our age groups here vary. If you do this, even with little children, they will know. They will understand. And it's senior ladies, they will understand because it's common sense. All right. So now, when we see this section on Gyan, we know there are 6 chapters. Okay? Now, the first thing we want to do is identify the size. Right? We want to know how big they are. And you'll see on your little map, it's very easy. If you go around starting with chapter 13, what we do is we embed information. What do we do? Embed information. Yeah, if something gets embedded into your skin like a thorn, you have to... But we do embed information. That means we try to pack more information in. So we don't just say chapter 13. We say 13, 35. Oh, look at that. We got a very dramatic slate, okay? 1335. Now that tells us the size of this chapter. Okay? And this is a memory, what I call a memory number. Some numbers we can have a trick for. But maybe we say, well, here's a 3 and here's a 3. Okay, what's the size of chapter 13? 35 slokas. Very good. 35 slokas. Okay, let's take a look at the next chapter. We see 14. Chapter 14. And what's the size given there in the little map? 27. Okay, here's a trick. For those of you who like math, what's 2 times 7? 14. Okay, you like this idea, huh? Are you having fun in here? Yeah. Okay. 2 times 7 is 14. And now we go back. What was 13? 35. Right. This is called a yo-yo drill. It's a yo-yo drill. Like a yo-yo is a wooden toy that goes up and down. So by going up and down, by the end, you've already memorized it. You don't have to scratch your brain. And 14 was what? 27. Okay. And as you see me write, you should be writing on your slates. Use your slate. Yeah, notes are... You won't need the notes. You do this. Yeah, you see, the habit is notes and notebooks. And you know what happens? You go home and you put the notebook away. Is that true? Yes. And you never can find it. And then it's just something else to study. If you do it this way, are you all... Put your notebooks away. Yeah. This is not our process. Also, don't write directly pressing on the board. You need a board. Yeah. If you're writing, don't put another book on top of the board. These boards aren't doing too well. Each time I have a class, they look worse. Huh? Yeah, you should be practicing on the slate. What I'm doing, you should be doing. Everybody got that? Don't just sit there. I'm not a movie star. I don't want to be. I'm a teacher. And the process is you have to see it, say it, hear it, and write it. Why did I get these boards for you? Just because they're colorful? Yeah. You got some new habits to learn in here. But they're a lot better than the old ones. Okay? 1335 and 1427. Okay, and you have to erase that each time. What I do, you guys do. You should be like, you go into these places where they sell television sets. And they all have the same picture. So if somebody walks in here, they'll see this screen, and they'll see they'll see 12 other screens. Same thing. Okay? So I'm keeping an eye on you. All right? You'll have fun doing this. You do the old thing with the pencil and the paper, I guarantee you'll put it away, you'll never see it again. You wasted your time. Have more fun. It's better. Okay? So our next chapter is what? And what's it say? 20. Right. This is one of the two smallest chapters in the Gita. 12 is 20 slokas and 15 is 20 slokas. Okay. All right. Really fast. 13 what? 1335. And 14 what? Right. And 15 what? 1520. Okay. Now isn't this a lot more fun? Are you having more fun? Yeah, I tell you, the old way, according to books on education, is called dead model. A dead model. I can bring the books in and show you. I'm not making it up. Because they've seen it's not working anymore. It's not working anymore. Okay, 1520. All right. Now let's go to what's our yo-yo drill really fast. What's the first one? Now each time you do it, so you don't get bored, you go faster. And what's the next one? All right, this is like in coaching. You got to get faster. 1520. And what's next? 16. And the secret there is 24. 8, 16, 24. If I count by 8s, I get 8, 16, and I get what? And if I say 2 plus 4, what do I get? 6. So you have 2 ways to remember that one. Okay, remember now, every time we do a practice, you got to go faster. Okay, what's your first one? And the next one is what? And the next one is what? 1520. And the next one is 1624. Okay, and what's our next one? Hey, you know that, 1728. And here's a trick here. 1 plus 7 is 8. Always try to find a little trick. Your mind looks for entertainment in a Krishna conscious way. You don't have to go to the Bollywood movies. You just let your mind be entertained in your study. It works. Okay, faster now. 13 what? Okay, and 14 what? Okay, and 15 what? And 16 what? 24. And what? 1728. And our last one, chapter 18. 78. That's an easy one. 8 and 8. There we go. And 1 plus 7 is 8. Okay, our final yo-yo drill, our last one. Ready? 13. As fast as you can write. 14 what? 27. And 15? 20. And 16? 24. What are you doing? Come on. Just because you're older, you're not off the hook. You got to be writing on your board. No. Yeah, keep an eye on her. No, nobody's off the hook. I'm a coach. Everybody has to do it, right? Mataji, we're going to make you sharp. You don't want to be one of these nice little Indian ladies. So much bhakti. But what's wrong with being sharp?
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with being sharp?
Yeah.
There is. No, there's nothing wrong with being sharp. Don't let the culture dumb you down. It's true. Yeah, they'll do that. You have the potential to be a wizard in the study of the Gita. But you have to follow the process, okay? 1624, 17 what? 28. And the next one is what? 1878. Good. Y'all know it? Okay, turn to your partner and really fast go over the numbers, because everything we do, everybody has to memorize it quickly before we go on. Okay, you work with her. Okay?
So we should write it down.
Whatever way you do, but you have to, yeah, you should do it really fast, okay? We're going to make her a wizard. She's got to be sharp. She's smiling, yeah.
She just has a little language problem.
That's all right, but she sees it, and now you work with her. You work with her. You be the translator.
Sometimes she has problems because she does know English, but sometimes
No problem. She will get sharp. The idea is make people quick. Why be dull? There are books that are called Dumbing Them Down. They're written on education. If you don't expect people to do much, they become like... Do we want that in our movement? It's true. Dumbing them down. We don't want to dumb you down. And the culture can do that if you let it. I never heard Prabhupada say the ladies shouldn't know the books. Did he ever say the women shouldn't know the books? Did anybody ever find a quote? Said Prabhupada said the ladies should not study the books. No. I never heard that. I never read that. Therefore, I don't believe it. We're here to help you do what Prabhupada wants us all to do. Your jivas. Your jivas. The lady's body is an external, temporary dress. Okay? So do you all know that now? You mastered it? Yes. Okay. Now for those of you that already knew that, you're being patient. But we want everybody, because when we study together, we care about each other. What do? Care about each other. Yeah, it's not just I, me, mine, and nobody else matters. That's not a good mood. All right, so now we need to know the titles. We need to know the titles. So what we're going to do for the titles, you'll see that in the same first page. Usually we'll use some signals, all right? So chapter 13, we'll go through them again. How many slokas in 13? 35. Okay, this one has 3 words to it. The first one is nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. Okay? You have to do the signals. Nature, the enjoyer, and conscious. Good. You thought this was an easy 2 hours. This is like a yoga class. You have to do it. Okay, and they're smiling too. You know, this is I swear, if you sit down and you're passive, you become static and bored. If you're active, you become ecstatic and smiling. I see it right away. The minute you're sitting there, morose, bored, dead. No. Okay? All right. Chapter 14 has how many slokas? And what's that one called? Chapter 14. The 3 modes of material nature, the lower energy. 3 modes of material nature. Okay, faster. Number 1 is what? Nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. Chapter 14 has how many slokas? And it's called what? Three modes of material nature. Very good. Now we go to 15. What's 15 called? The Yoga of the Supreme. Right, the Yoga of the Supreme. She's smiling. Okay, you didn't do the signal. Come on. Yoga? Very good. Yeah, she smiles the minute she does. The tendency is we want to just sit and watch. We watch television, we watch the computer. It's not a good process. Passive is boring. Okay, so we did 15 now. 16 is called the divine and demoniac natures, right? How big is that one? 16 is how big? 24 slokas. Okay. All right, let's go back again. The first one, 13, is what? 35. Nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. Chapter 14 is what? The three modes of material nature. Very good. Everybody's doing a nice dance. This is Bharatanatyam. Chapter 15 is called what? The Yoga of the Supreme. Very good. Everybody's having fun. I'm not even charging you for dance lessons. Chapter 16 is what? The divine and demoniac natures. And you have to watch out because in Kali Yuga they're both inside. The worst enemy's right there. So we want to know if something's a demoniac quality, we've got to rip it out, right? Rip it out. Okay, 17 now is what? The divisions of faith. The divisions of faith. How big is that chapter? 28. Okay, now faster. This is our real dance class now. Okay, the first one is nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. And chapter 14 is the three modes of material nature. And 15 is the Yoga of the Supreme. And number 16 is the divine and the demoniac natures. And chapter 17 is what? The divisions of faith. And the final one is, this one is conclusion. The perfection of renunciation. This is the conclusion of the Gita, right? Chapter 18, how big is it? 78 slokas. The conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. All right, so tell your study partner really fast the chapter titles, okay? And do the dance. You have to do the dance. You have to show the signals. Have to show the signals. So Neela, you can tell me now. Chapter 13 is what? Right. Good. Okay. Got. Now, is that more fun than just sitting down and trying to memorize it? Yeah. How did she do? Does she know that? She did it. Good. Look at her. I hope you're getting a nice video here. You go through. Now you'll be famous. You'll be on YouTube.
Bhakti's mother.
You'll be on YouTube now.
She's very Bhakti's mother.
Yeah, right. You'll be on YouTube now. Yeah. See, what you're doing is giving people out there hope. You're giving people hope. Because who knows what body you're going to get. And when you're older, you're getting close to whatever the next one is. So it's so scary. Whew. I think about it every day I wake up. When you're young, you think, oh, maybe I have a little time. But when you're older, you know you don't. And you know your next body's waiting for you. And you don't know where it's going to be and who you're going to be. And you get terrified. Terrified, right? These bodies are very temporary. Don't get stuck up on this body, on that, I'm this mommy, I'm that daddy, this is my baby, this is my... It's all illusion. Meant to keep you in prison. Pretty scary, yeah? Okay, now we'll get happy again. We want to go between... You notice I go between being heavy and light. Because we don't want it to get too light and we don't want to get too heavy. All right, chapter 13 now. We're ready to focus. Remember? We got the big picture for the Gyan section. Everybody knows the chapter titles. You know how big they are. You know the dance. All right, now we're going to go into chapter 13. 13, 30. Look how quick everybody knew that. Okay. And what's the title? Right, and that should give us a clue as to what we're going to hear about. We're going to hear about nature and the enjoyer, and we're going to hear about consciousness. This is a very important chapter. Okay. All right, so we know that much and we know the title. Sorry, erase that. All right, now turn your little study guide to that chapter. And in the middle, you'll see what you already know. We're getting more focused now. The chapter title's at the top. Right? Nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. See, I wasn't making it up. Right? And what's it say inside? 13:35. See, I wasn't making it up. Now you're going to learn some more. Everybody ready to know more now? Yes. Okay. You know all this stuff, but that's okay. He's having fun. He came along. How many circles do you see around the middle? 5. 5 circles. Very good. So let's have fun and let's draw that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like chapatis coming all around the plate, right? Or it looks like the Raj Bhoga offering. There's a big tray and all the preps are there, okay? So we have 5 preps in this offering. Okay? So now we want to learn these. We want to learn what's in this chapter. Sounds pretty difficult. Nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. Okay, so we have 5 topics. We're going to do a code. Okay? The first one, according to the breakdown, okay, got your slate like that, is called Chaitra and Ketra Gya. So we're going to put K and KJ. Ketra and Ketra Gya. That's our first section. Remember, this is the topography now. We're going to find out if we walk on the ground of this chapter, what's in here. Ketra, Ketra Gya. So what we're going to do is we're going to show a signal. Ketra is the body. And Ketra Gya is the soul, the knower. It's different. That's the beginning of spiritual life. If you don't even think there's a soul or you can't understand the difference between the body and the soul, you're not ready for spiritual life. It's not going to mean a thing to you. Okay, Neela's going to hold it up. Thank you, Neela. Great. Can you show the crowd? Turn it around. He goes shows his dad. Okay. Now, where do we find this? Now we're going to be Google search. Where is this? 1 through 7. In slokas 1 through 7, we're going to read about 6 things that Arjuna asks. He asks he wants 6 definitions. So this is through 1 through 7, we're going to get Krishna's answer. Okay? Now, our next topic is going to be process of knowledge. And that goes from obviously 8 through what? 12. 8 through 12. This is a very important list. 20 items of knowledge. Anything that's not on that list is considered nescience. Nescience. Process of knowledge. Okay, let's go back, our yo-yo drill. What was our first topic? And Kshetra Gya. And where's that? 1 through 7. That's our Google search. How many just learned something today? Good. Good. Because this is important. Because if somebody tells you, where is that in the Gita? You'll say, oh, that's the 1 through 7. And you'll know where to find it, and you'll be more apt to understand it. Okay. What was our second one? Process of knowledge. And where's that? 8 to 12. And these are easy numbers, 8 and 12, even. 8 through 12. 20 items of knowledge. Brilliant. And Prabhupada's definitions. Brilliant. Okay? Our third topic. Object of... what's the object of knowledge? We're all studying. Everybody goes to universities. Everybody goes through school. They pay big money. But they don't know what the object is of study. The object of knowledge. And where's that? It's going to have to start with 13. And where's it going to go? 19, yes. This is almost exactly like the third canto. 13 to 19. Viraha Rupa. Right? 13 to 19. 3 and there's a 9. Object of knowledge. Okay, yo-yo drill. Think now. Because you're becoming lawyers. You know the books, where I will find it. Google search. Your first one is called what? Kshetra and Kshetra Gyan. Where's that? 1 to 7. Everybody got it? You should have the same screen. Somebody walks in here, all screens should say the same thing. Okay, next topic is what? The process of knowledge. And where's that? 8 to 12. You doing okay? I want you to call up your daughter and you tell her over the phone what you know. Okay. Yeah. Is she on Skype? I don't know. Okay. The next one. Our next one was called what? Yes. What is the object of knowledge? And this is 13 to 19. Now this is going to sound just like Ishopanishads. What's it going to sound like? Yes. You read these slokas and you'll say, wait a minute. I thought we just did that on Monday. Sounds just like Ishopanishads. Because this, when you're talking about the soul, you get into this Ishopanishadic language. Inconceivable. It's here, but it's not there. And it's inside and it's outside. And Krishna's inconceivability. Okay? Next. The next one is the Prakriti and Purush and their union. And where's that one now? 20 to 26. Again, we have even numbers. 20 to 26. And we can do Prakriti, and we can do Purush, and we can do their union. Okay? And we should do signals for the others when we go back. All right? I want to go back and do signals up to this point because the signals help. Your first one is what? Kshetra and Kshetra Gyal, the knower inside. Okay? And the second one is the process of knowledge. And your third one is the object of knowledge, which is, yeah, we should go like this, object of knowledge. And your third one is Prakriti, Purush, and their union. Okay? And our last one is the vision. Gyan Chakshus, the vision of knowledge. Jnana Chakshus, seeing through the scriptures. Don't see through your material vision. You will only get birth and death. Do you want more birth and death? No. You have to see through the what? Scriptures, yes. Jnana chakshus. The vision of knowledge. That's what you're getting in Bhagavad Gita. You're getting the vision of eternity. If you see through material books, material knowledge, material understanding, you're getting death. That's all. That's not a very nice proposition. Okay, so let's go again and let's get our sections. Let's do it again. Real Google search now. First one is Ketra and Ketra Gya. Where's that? 1 through 7. Is she writing? Keep an eye on her. Yeah, you keep an eye on her. The tendency is to kick back. As soon as we can, we go into the sleep zone. You know, like on an airplane, they'll turn off the lights and everybody goes. Don't let it happen. You've worked millions of lifetimes to get every moment of this birth. According to the scriptures, every moment lost that's not in Krishna consciousness is considered the greatest loss possible. Did you hear that? You've worked lifetimes for this moment. If you squander it, you're foolish. You've had to go through millions of species, millions of births to get this opportunity. And if you sit there and go to sleep, you lose. Snooze, you lose. Don't do it. Okay, what was our next topic? The process of knowledge. And what's your Google search on that one? 8 through 12. Okay, and your next one is what? Object of knowledge. And where's that one? 13 through 19. Very good. Is she writing that? You keep an eye on her, okay? I'm going to have a good report to Bhakti. Hurry, Bhakti. Okay, and the next one is what? Prakriti and Purush. That's Prakriti and Purush. And their union. Right. Their union. And that is from where? 20 to 26. Okay, and our last section is Jnana chakshus. We'll put a little eye here. Little eye. Yes, the eye, seeing through the eyes of, yes, don't forget to get your prasadam. Eyes of Shastra, vision of eternity. And where's that? 27 to 35. 27 to 35. Jnana chakshus. The vision of eternity. Okay? So very quickly now, work with your study partner, and you tell them exactly what we've just done. So you know it like that, instantly. Okay? How are you, Krishnamurti? You got this down like that? Is this fun for you? Having a good time? Good refresher course, huh? Okay, Rasamrita, I want you to drill my old classmate there. Whoa, very good. Okay, Neela, I'm here to quiz you. Don't look at your book. Okay.
Process of knowledge, this is 8 to 12, and the object of knowledge is 13 to 19. After this, there is completely, and Prakriti, Purusha, and their union. It is from 20 to 26. After that is,
Jnana.
Of knowledge for eternity, it is from 27 to 35.
Okay, very good. Now you've got the picture, right? You're all set. She doing okay? Yes. I bet she's surprised. Does she know so much now? Yes. Are you surprised? Have you learned something too? Have you learned something now?
Hari Bhakti did brief was the last session, and we now on the last session, but we missed the first session from chapter 1 and 6.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll take the recording.
And we're trying to make this all available. Okay, everybody, now get out your study guides. Please open your study guides to page 51. Now you are going to expand your knowledge. You know the structure. You're lawyers. You know the section. Now you want to know the blessings. What are the blessings that Krishna is giving you? Krishna is so kind. If you know this chapter, you're going to find out what the blessing is. We're not just putting you through torture. This is full of benedictions. Page 51 in your study guide. You all have it? Yes. Now what we do is interactive reading. I read, and when I stop, you read. That way no one can go to sleep. We don't want the sleep mode. And we're going to use our little finger. The flute finger. Okay? Under chapter 13, we get what's called recap and introduction. They connect. It's connecting. They connect the previous sections with the present one. They just don't plow into it. Things have to be connected. You think, well, somebody dropped me out of a parachute in the middle of Australia? Where am I? I'm in chapter 13, but you have to see what's the connection with what's before. So these connect. Okay? Read loudly now. In the first 6 chapters of Krishna discussed how action on the platform of leads to bhakti. So karma yoga leads to bhakti. That's the first 6 chapters. Got that? Yes. In the second 6 chapters, Krishna spoke directly of and the glories of devotional service. So what's the second 6 chapters do? Yes, about Krishna and the glories of devotional service. Now you see they're connecting what's before. Now let's find out what's next. In the third 6th chapter, Krishna discusses how Gyan leads to bhakti. Yes, now we're going to hear how Gyan leads to bhakti. Starting with the 13th chapter, how the comes into contact with and how he is delivered by the Supreme through the different methods of cultivation of and devotional service are. So now you've got connection with First 6, middle 6, and what these 6 chapters will do for you. Now, here's our next topic. What is it? Kshetra Gyan. Where is it? 1 through 7. Good, you know that. Now you're going to add on. Now this is a recap from before. In chapter 12, verse 7, Krishna has to redeem his devotees. He's promised, I'm going to deliver you. 12:7. That was our last chapter. To that end, he will now the needed to his devotees from the. So, do you need to know this? Yes, because it says he will reveal the knowledge needed to do what? Elevate his devotees from the material world. Of course you need to know Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna asked Krishna to explain 6 topics. Let's say them together. Prakriti, Purush, Kshetra, Gyan, and Jnaya. So we have PP, KK, and JJ. What do we have? PP, KK, and JJ. Krishna explains knowledge of the field of and the knower of the. So in those 7 slokas, we're going to hear knowledge of the field and of the knower of the field. Now, do you know more about this section? Yes, you know more. This knowledge is needed to elevate you from material existence. Now, what's our next title? You know that one. What is it? Where's that? 8 through 12. Having described knowledge of the and the knower of the, Krishna now the process of beginning with and culminating in of the absolute. And where's that? Yes, this is now he's going to tell you what is the process of knowledge. 8 through 12. Let's go on to our next title. What's that one? Object. And where is that? 13 to 19. In verses 13 to 19, the object of knowledge. Nam, right, that's it. Or the and is, yes, this is what we're going to hear now. Previously, Krishna explained the soul and as Kshetragya or of the field. By understanding the difference between the and by following the process of the soul can transcend, realize he's eternal, to and attains the supreme. Yes, what an important section. By knowing the difference between the body, the soul, and the super soul, and by following the process of knowledge, you can transcend duality, you can realize your eternal subordination to Krishna, and you can attain the supreme destination. Is this important? Yes. Okay, next section. What's it called? Purush and their union. And where's your Google search? 20 to 26. Having described Jnaya as the and the, Krishna now explains the soul and as something else now, as Purush, in terms of their with material. One who understands Purush and their attains from, yes, in this. Other methods of understanding the super soul are Jnana, Astanga, and Karma. Now you see, in the first section, he's revealing Kshetra, Kshetragya. Then in the next section, he's revealing Purush, right? And the enjoyer, or the knowledge and Nayam. In this next section, Prakriti Purush, he's connecting the soul and the super soul as Purush with the relationship with Prakriti. So you get all 3 connections. Remember there were 6 words. What were they? Prakriti, Purush, Ketra, Gya, Gyan, and Gnayam. So in each of these sections now, you're getting the understanding of those 6 terms. You all follow that? Everybody understand that? How about her? Is she okay? Are you awake? Okay, good. You're going to have to keep an eye on, help these elderly ladies. Age is a problem, I'm telling you. I have my problems. But they need help too. Everybody who's engaged needs help, from the 3-year-old to the 68-year-old. Now our next one, Jnana Chakshus, the vision of? Where do you find that? 27. Those who see the, between the, its, and the, and who, the process of, can attain the supreme. Not bad. Okay. Let's take out our mind maps now. And I pray I did something with mine. Maybe I mistakenly put the masters away. I don't know. I hope I didn't lose them. So I'll need a black and white copy of the...
He said already he has given you back yesterday.
So I think what happened then, I might have filed them away. Okay. Because that's a possibility. Sometimes materials are coming in, I'm trying to repack, but if I lose the masters, these take so long to make. Okay. You all have your charts? Did you get part 2? Did they get 2 parts? Samohini? There's another part to this.
Yeah, we didn't do the part.
Part 2. By the way, this is quota. You get 1 chart. If you come next time without it, too bad. If you come the first time, you get it. But if you come the second time without it, I'm going to follow Ishupanishads. Yeah, she's got to give her. She forgot to give that out. On the first one, you have an overview mind map. And on the back, you have very detailed sub maps. These charts take a week to make. In fact, I can hardly, with my age problem now and health, I haven't done a chart for a year, and I'm praying I don't fall apart before I do more. These take so long. You can see how long these take. They're hand drawn. Well, you'll just have to come again, because I don't go back with charts. They're online. They're online.
I just want to print them.
Yeah, they're on the computer. You'll have to go on the website. Hey, everybody who comes, oh, can I have the charts for the last 10 years? That's like going to a feast and say, can I have prasadam from yesterday? Can I have last Monday's rasgullas? I stopped doing that. I was spending all my time, and then the people would get them and disappear. I stopped it. I had to learn the hard way. Okay, ready? The most important thing, now you know this side. You know this side. You know 1335. You know Chaitra Jagya 1-7, process of knowledge 8 through 12, object of knowledge 13 through 19, Prakriti Purush their union 20 through 26, Jnana Chakshus the vision of knowledge 27 to 35. That you know. Now turn it over. I'm not going to take you through the little mini maps, but I want you to know this middle one. There are 3 doers. How many doers are there?
3 doers.
Right. Nothing happens without all 3. What happens? Nothing. Without how many? 3. Do you see them numbered 1, 2, 3? This is just like a recipe. Add water and stir. Who's the first doer?
Soul.
The soul. Number 2 is the big one. Who's that? Super soul. And what's number 3? Yes. Everything that takes place requires all three. Just as I say you're going to make a cookie, you have to have sugar, flour, and butter. If you only have 2 ingredients, do you have a cookie? No. You can't make one. So if you want to carry out something, you have to have 3 doers. How many?
3.
And what are they? Soul, super soul, and nature. Now what does the soul do? That's all. Did you notice that? He desires. He has the choice to desire Krishna or self-maya. That's it. Now what's the super soul do? Yes. He gives permission. He's neutral. If you want to do something naughty, he'll say, go ahead. He'll say, go ahead. You want to go to material world? Go ahead. He doesn't stop. He's neutral. What's number 3? What's material nature do? Carries it out. So everything you see going on is nothing more than the material nature carrying out, by sanction of the Lord, what the living entities desire. When they're packed up in Mahavishnu, they come out, and then they desire, and then that's the whole creation is set up just for them to do what they wanted. This material world exists on the basis of the jiva to play out his fantasies without God. The Paramatma is there. Okay, so that's the most important thing in chapter 13. 3 doers. It's explained in chapter 3, verse 27. Prakriti kriyamanani. Gune karmani sarvasya. Hankara vimuharma. Kartaham. He thinks he's the doer. That's the symbol of his nescience. He's not doing it. And you'll see it explained in chapter 5 of the Gita. Again, who's really doing things? This is brought up again now in 13. Okay? So now let's take out our other little chart. And we have lots of little icons here, little symbolic pictures. And you'll see the sections. We're quickly going to run through the key words, because you know what's in here, but now you want to know what's the nutshell word for every sloka. If I had to compress it. So number 1, what's your word? Wish, yes. Arjuna wishes to know something. Number 2, body, right. We're going to hear about the body. And what's in number 3? Understand. And number 4, yes, Krishna is giving us a description now of the field of activities. And he gives a reference in number 5. What's the reference? The Vedanta Sutra. And then he's going to explain in number 6 what? Yes, the great elements. And number 7, their interactions. This is a very important list. This list includes the 24 elements of the material energy, including their interactions. Very important list to know. If we would have time today, I wanted us, maybe I can work it out that we have a simple way to memorize these 24 items plus the 20 items of knowledge. All right, now, in the next section, we have 8 through 12, that's 5 slokas, beginning with humility. And number 9, the key word, evil. And number 10, entanglement. And 11, constant. And the final one, 12, is knowledge. Now that's a combined sloka, 8 through 12. And I had to find where the break is for Sanskrit to get the English words. Humility ending with knowledge. What constitutes knowledge? Now, from 13 through 19, you see these 7. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 13 through 19. Let's say the compressed word. What's your first one? Subordinate. And what's the next one? 14. Everywhere. Now, to understand, this is going to have to be an expression explanation of the soul and the super soul. So this is going to make sense. What's number 15? Super soul. And 16? Truth. And 17? Devours, yes. And 18? And 19? Attain. So now you have a little clue as to what's the compressed word in that sloka. Okay, turn it over. Now our next section, first one, remember, was Kshetra, Kshetragya. Then we heard about the relationship of knowledge and the object of knowledge. Now we're going to hear about the two kinds of the Purushas and the Prakriti, their relationship. Okay? So this is going to take us from 20 to 26. What's our first word? Beginningless. 21? 22? Enjoying. 23? Permitter. Yes. And 24? And 25? And 26? And those two have stars. Actually, look at that. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all have stars. These are important verses. Wherever you see a star, it's a thematic verse. Actually, 26 is quoted a lot. It's quoted a lot because even if one is just willing to hear about Krishna, he has a chance. That's why Prabhupada set up these temples to give classes, so people could come and at least hear. They have a chance. Now, from 27 to 35, this is how we must learn to see. What's 27? Combination. And 28? Accompanying. And 29? This, you'll see if you look at every sloka, the word see. See, 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 see. 30. Nothing. 31. 32. 33. Now we have analogies. What do you have? Sky. And 34. Yes, the soul illuminates the way the sun does. And in 35, eyes. One who sees with the eyes of Shastra, he can obtain the supreme goal. All right. Now what we're going to do, and Mataji can get the fruit. You have the fruit already. We're going to go through the slokas, because we have about, thank you, you have to go. Turn to your yellow books, chapter 13, and keep your little word and icons with you. Because now the slokas will be, you're adding more, right? Each time we add a little more knowledge. So you're going to read when I stop. In your book, it's on page 131, I think. 131. Now you'll find, as we build, it's like building a building. We're going up higher and higher and higher. But we had to have the foundation. So keep your charts. You see number 1, and you see the word wish. Actually, I even have a lot of the sloka here at the beginning. Now we're going to read the summary for this chapter. This is very important. One who understands the, between the, and the soul, and the, beyond them both attains from this material. Is this important? Thank you, Samohini. Yes. Okay. So this is the essence of this chapter. If you understand this chapter, you attain what? Liberation from the material world. Okay. Okay, here we go. Be ready to read out loud. Arjuna said, "Oh, my dear Krishna, I wish to know about nature, Purush, the, and the field, and the knower of the, and of knowledge, and the object of knowledge." Right. Number 2, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said this, O son of Kunti is called the, and one who knows this body is called the of the field. So there you had the word body, kshetra. 13.3. O sign of Bharta, you should understand that I'm also the knower in all, and to understand this body and its is called, that is my opinion. So now you have to understand who is the knower in all bodies. Now, 13.4. Now please hear my brief of the field of activity and how it is, what its changes are, whence it is, who that knower of the field of activities is, and what his are. So now Krishna is going to explain all these things. How the field is constituted, this is the nature. What its changes are, whence it's produced, who the knower is, and what is his influence. He's giving you about 6 points here. Okay, now he's going to give a reference. Krishna always refers. That knowledge of the field of activities and the knower of activities is described by in various writings. It is especially presented in with all reasoning as to and effect. So Krishna doesn't just, he refers to the scriptures. Vedanta Sutra is your word. Now, in 6 through 7, we're going to hear what constitutes the field. The 5 great false intelligence, the 10 and the 5 sense, desire, hatred, distress, the aggregate, the life, and all these are considered to be the field of and its interactions. So not only the field, but the interactions in the field. This is an important list. I meant to have a little card thing done today. Next time maybe we'll do it, in which we list these elements. You should know these. On tests we were asked to list these items. Now we're going to read a wonderful list, 8 through 12. This is another thing we should know, the 20 items of knowledge. What's the first one? Pridelessness, nonviolence, and simplicity, approaching a bona fide cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the object of sense, absence of perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and detachment, freedom from, with children, wife, home, and the even amid pleasant and event, constant and unalloyed to me, aspiring to live in a solitary detachment from the general mass of, accept the importance of, and philosophical search for the absolute. All these I declare to be, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance. Okay, and it's 5 o'clock, and I think we'll stop there, because some people may want to go on, their curriculum is going around. You've all been tolerant. Little Neela is our flight attendant. He'll bring you fruit. Next time, what I want to do is, on simple SIM cards, we want to, you should know the material elements and their interactions. You should know the 20 items of knowledge. And we want you to be able to know, there's one other thing in here that's really important. Those 2 lists especially. Those 2 lists. Okay? So please return materials that belong to the class. And please keep your charts. Fold them nicely and put them in your protection sheets. Remember, if you received one today, that is your quota. In the Ishopanishads it says, if you take more than your quota in your next life, you will be deprived I know how serious this is. I heard some devotees say that 70% of the food that the world produces is thrown away. You know, there are people starving. And you know, you go to places where in restaurants you see people don't finish their food, or they'll take stock, and even sometimes they'll throw grains into the ocean to keep the prices high. This is so sinful. That means in the next life they won't have it. I know I used to go on guests to the MBT restaurant, and I would see people pick at this and then throw away the food on the plate, and I thought, their next life, they're not going to have that. You should only take what you're going to eat and eat it. I know in the Gurukula, they used to make the kids finish what was on the plate. So always remember things. You get a quota, and you take care of your quota. Because if you don't, either next time you won't get it, or if you have a quota to fulfill and you don't do it, then the opportunity to do it is also lost the next life. We're supposed to use this human body for realizing the Lord. Okay, so the flight attendant is bringing you your fruit. It's hard in this hot weather to get variety. This is about all we can find in the market.